So in terms of the recent agreements that seem to have been reached between Poroshenko of Ukraine and the Russian government in the recent meetings in Milan, I'm afraid that I think that we're a long way from some kind of real settlement to the issue. This is a process that's going underway. I think that the Russian government in particular is trying to calibrate the various responses of the Ukrainians as well as the EU and the United States, and it's more interested perhaps in a tactical pause in the conflict right now to really kind of gauge the prospects for the renewal of relationships on a broader level, but also about how committed the United States and European Union are to the current sanctions regime. So I think it's more about really the interactions between Russia and the West, and it really is about any great desire right now to settle the situation with Ukraine. Putin and those around him are waiting really to sort of see what happens on the ground and what the attitudes are more broadly. And I think that then doesn't bode well for relations with the European Union right now. Putin is not at this particular juncture interested in some kind of settlement on the terms that the European Union or the United States would like to see. There's no real talk about a rolling back of the military conflict in Ukraine, although there may be signs of removal of US troops, Russian troops rather, from borders, and signs of de-escalation in the conflict. Russia can at any time, of course, redeploy its own forces to the Ukrainian border, and the conflict can certainly break out again. And there is no hint of any kind at this particular juncture, of any kind of change of thinking on the status of Crimea. I think that the Russian government has made it very clear that Crimea is now part of the Russian Federation, and they're not going to open that up even for debate, which of course is one of the issues the EU and the United States want to see on the table. So we're not going to be in any kind of position to roll back the Russian annexation of Crimea, or to really resolve the conflict in the Donbass and the surrounding areas at this particular juncture. And Russia is certainly not ready to contemplate any of the issues that the European Union and the US have put on the table in their various meetings. So we're still in a very difficult situation. We have to, I think at this point, still very much stick to the principles that we've outlined and make it very clear to Moscow that we really do mean what we say when we say that we want to see a change in the situation on the ground in Ukraine, and for Kiev to regain at least political control over its own territory. So this is going to be a very long game that we're going to be playing with Russia, and there'll be many more meetings in Milan and many other cities, I think, before we get anywhere near any kind of resolution.